For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. Yes, yes.
It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Get up, people. It's Wednesday, hump day. Time to get on that grind. If you're not already, my West Coast people probably just getting up. And I can't believe Thanksgiving is next Thursday. Man, for you cats in the U.S., I'm excited for a little break. I normally take Thursday off. I don't do any work, but I'm right back at it Friday. So just how I grind, man. I'm real work. My work ethic is pretty strong. It's always been that way. You can ask my parents, man. I've always been a grinder. But today we are going to be talking about a topic that's in the same vein as yesterday's video regarding CME futures, and that's coming up. The article or video yesterday talked about how the CME is actually going to have the futures contracts ready by December they think, but this article that I'm going to talk about kind of goes into some of the predictions that people have in regards to what that means when we have Bitcoin futures. So we're gonna go over that, but of course first let's take a look at coin market cap. Why don't we? So wow, market cap is up to 218 billion, people. Bitcoin dominance has bumped up just slightly, maybe about 1% or so. It was at 53 and some change yesterday. We're now at 54.5% dominance, and yeah, we're looking good. The alts really had a great day yesterday. As you can see here, all this green. Ooh-wee. Money. So that looks good, people. Just I usually try to do a pulse check on the market as a whole, but this is the favorite part right here, people. This is what I do best: technical analysis. So this here, I told you guys yesterday, and I told a few people in the Webbot chat room, we are looking for a close above this 45-degree angle, this line I drew here. So we had issues. If I zoom in, you'll see yesterday we had issues getting above that. We touched it, but we came back down and closed right actually below the secure the bag line that I drew a while ago. But it looks like today we may be able to close above this 45-degree angle. So if we do close, guys, it's a strong possibility that we will test the previous highs. That'll be the next target. And actually, I wouldn't, you can take this spike up, the 78.81 area. We can use that, but I'm really talking about this 76.25 area and I'm using Bitstamp, so those numbers will be different on each exchange. But the 7600 area is where we want to, if we close today, we'll be going after that level right there. Now, if we have enough steam to actually score a point and get above the 7800, or actually it's closer to 7900, I'm not sure. I need to see how this plays out, because we could have, as you see my yellow line that I drew, we could have like a pump fake, and we go up here, and then we come back down and bounce off of here. Then we get enough momentum to move up. And once we clear this, people, we're going for 10,000. We're going for 10,000 pretty fast. So let's see. Let's just keep an eye on it. And again, I think today we're going to close above that 45-degree angle, that line. So that should be a bullish signal, in my opinion. All right. Next up is actually, I want to just talk about something really quickly. I was just had to make sure my mic was on. I was watching yesterday and a couple days ago, watching people talk about how great they are at giving you advice about cryptocurrencies, you know, their track record and all of that. And it just reminded me of, because I used to trade, prop trade. So basically I traded other people's money with our proprietary system that my partner and I had. So it just made me think about it, because right now we're in a good time where everyone's going to look good. The dumbest person will be able to make money in the crypto game right now, in general. If you're looking at, you know, buying the top 3 cryptocurrencies, your Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, even some of your altcoins. Now, some of the tokens, you know, are hit or miss, but you know, if you remember, Clif said even the shit coins are gonna just go through the roof next year. So just keep in mind when you're listening to people, they don't know what they're doing. Most of them ain't traded in the past, don't know anything about financial markets. So they're touting their clout, and it is not them. It's really just a bull market. In a bull market, in a strong bull market, in which we've been in really since probably even before I got into Bitcoin, but I mean since 2012 for sure. It's been a bull market. 2014 or 2015, like 2014 and 15 may have been a slow year for Bitcoin. It was kind of trading in a range, not much volatility. But that's not a bear market. That's just taking a rest in a bull market, in my opinion. So we are in a very strong, we'll never see this type of bull market in our lives again in any financial markets. So, you know, just appreciate it, of course, but don't pay attention to them people. They don't know what they're talking about. So that made me actually, a couple years ago, I follow Carl Icahn, great investor, a corporate raider, you know, tells it how he likes it. He doesn't care. I follow him because I'm really into finance, honestly, more than computers, to be honest with you, more than IT. But really always liked his attitude and the way he did things. He was just a boss, and he just took care of things, took over things. He said something very profound, and I heard this video years ago. It was about 2 years ago. I was watching this video, and I'll never forget when he said this. I'm gonna play this part of this video for you guys really quickly. Check this out.
The investing career.
Well, then I got in with Jack Dreyfus on Wall Street. You know, it wasn't tough getting a job. I went to Princeton, had good marks, and I did great. So I started thinking I'm really smart.
But why'd you go to Jack Dreyfus? Why'd you pick Wall Street?
Well, I knew somebody. Well, you know, I didn't know what to do, and I started studying how you pick stocks, and it really hit me how great it was. You know what you did. I met a guy that was a security analyst, and he's showing me how to pick these stocks.
Was it going back to the books? Was it reading things about the industry, or?
Well, no, I just liked it, but that wasn't really it. But when I got into Wall Street, I had 15,000, which was a lot saved. You know, I started investing it, and in '61 the market was hot, and you never really. I learned a lot from that, because you'd never confuse a bull market with brains. And what I did was confuse it. And I'm buying all these stocks, I'm picking this and I'm picking that, and I had a following of people who would listen to me. Oh, wow, well, you can. But everybody was making money, you don't realize that. And Jack Dreyfus would tell me, he'd come over, he'd sort of like me, he'd sit there with me once in a while, and he said, you're gonna lose every penny you have. I'm telling you, Carl, before you're through it, he said, I got this. I was up to about $70,000, which was huge. He says, you know what, when this is over, 6 months, a year, maybe less, he says, not only won't you have the 70, you'll be negative, everything you ever had. And he was right. In 3 days in '62, they cleaned me out. I was there, and I learned. I tell you what I learned from that experience.
You didn't learn from him just giving you the advice. You had to go through the pain.
You had to go through the pain. You have to go through it. The market.
There you go, people. So again, when I do videos and stuff, I want you guys to learn. I don't want you to just take my word for it. For you guys that are newer investors, that is. For you old heads, of course, you know kind of what you're doing. But yeah, just learn for yourself, because, and he said it perfectly, don't confuse a bull market with brains. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna close it on that one. So let's jump over to the actual article that I wanted to talk about. Actually, before that, there was one comment that I wanted to talk about from my video from yesterday. This was the video on Bitcoin futures. So really quickly, this 321 Plastic asks, or 321 Plastic, I should say, asks, can we take delivery on said product? If so, we should go in, buy up their Bitcoin when they are shorting it massively, then take the Bitcoin from their exchange, sending them into bankruptcy. So 321 Plastic, that's a good point. He's talking about the CME futures and how those contracts are settled. This is the scary thing about that. You can't settle the contract in Bitcoin. So that means you'll get cash back, or the difference. If you lost, you'll get less money back. What that does, in my opinion, is really set it up for them to literally just flood the market with their funny fiat fake ass money and manipulate the entire system. When I say system, I mean the price of Bitcoin, not the actual blockchain and transactions and all that. That'll still stay intact. But for you guys who want to have it as a store of wealth, now it's going to be in their hands, because they're not, like, at the end of the contract, I'm not going to get those Bitcoins. There are no Bitcoins. They're just, again, they're doing the same thing they did in all of the other markets, the precious metals markets, and even indices. Futures for indices and stuff. So, hey, that's the answer for that one. 321 or 321 Plastic can't take profits or take delivery of the Bitcoin. You only get cash back. It'll settle in cash. So let's take a look at this article though. This is out of Cointelegraph, and it says CME Group's regulated futures market may enable retail giants to accept Bitcoin. So I'm just going to pull a few points from this article that I read that I wanted to go over with you guys. So the article poses, what does it actually accomplish, this futures market that's getting ready to ramp up, I should say. This second paragraph says, Cointelegraph had an opportunity to speak with David Johnson, CEO of Latium, and experienced Forex exchange trader, to get his take on what CME Group's announcement means. Johnson believes the biggest boost to Bitcoin will come not from the trading of futures per se, but from what the trading enables, retail adoption. That's interesting. It goes on to talk about this retail adoption. So right now, most companies that accept Bitcoin as a form of payment use third-party payment processors to receive the Bitcoin and immediately convert it to cash and deposit the funds in companies' bank accounts. This works up to a point. Unfortunately, these companies do not have a long track record and are quite small. Huge retailers like Walmart or Amazon probably would be wary of doing business with them. CME Group's futures market changes all of that, according to Johnson. Major companies with careful risk management strategies have been slow to get involved in Bitcoin because of the risk. This is a risk to storing Bitcoin. So that's very true. And I didn't even think about that. I did not think about that. So futures markets are used by many corporations on a daily basis. That's really what it's for. It's not for the banksters to be in there manipulating the price of everything, but you basically, like, you take a Walmart, right? So if they start accepting Bitcoin, they'll be able to go into the futures market and hedge against their the Bitcoin that they have. And what I mean by that is if they accept Bitcoin and they're holding Bitcoin, they're essentially long Bitcoin. But they can go in, and they do this with other commodities and stuff. They can go in and place what we call a put option or put contract, go short Bitcoin in the futures market. That way, if Bitcoin does crash, it'll at least mitigate a lot of their risk, because they'll make money in the futures market as it crashes. Even though the value of Bitcoin they hold, real Bitcoin that they hold, even though that price drops, they'll make money with them shorting Bitcoin in the futures. So that is very true. That will definitely bring in a lot of players to, retail giants to start accepting Bitcoin. That's good. So let's move forward. So now they're talking about institutional investors. So CME Group will also provide an on-ramp for traditional institutional investors. Some of them have hundreds of billions of dollars. You hear that? Hundreds of billions of dollars. That's the market cap of cryptocurrencies right now at their disposal. But they generally have strict rules about what they can invest in. At present, such institutions have shied away from Bitcoin due to the difficulty of storing the currency or dealing with small, unregulated Bitcoin exchanges without long history of doing business. So, and then it goes kind of on to talk about future ETF possibilities. This definitely does open that back up. I know the Winklevoss twins tried to, and two other organizations or firms tried to get ETFs passed earlier this year in March. But with the advent of Bitcoin futures, this is going to make this much easier. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 satoshis on that. I think it will definitely, as I stated yesterday, it will definitely increase the price of Bitcoin and the cash that comes into these markets significantly. It's just that over time, it's going to, in my opinion, take control from the decentralized nature, from a price perspective, decentralized pricing of Bitcoin into a more centralized system. So my 2 satoshis. Of course, I love to talk to you guys in the comments, so please leave them and we'll chat it up down there. Also, make sure you get over to the Webbot chat room and join us there. I'll leave the link of that in the description of this video. And don't forget to get those Webbot and crypto t-shirts for the holidays. I'm doing a promo right now. You buy 2 shirts, you get 500 crypto blood tokens. And again, those tokens will be used for either discounts on cryptoblood.io, so you'll be able to buy at a discount paying with crypto blood tokens, or different events or live streams or whatnot. I'm going to be doing exclusive. You'll have an exclusive opportunity to participate in those when paying with crypto blood tokens. So make sure you get over to cryptoblood.io and get you a shirt or 2. That's it, people. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Holla.